Yo, what's up, everybody? Lobo, YoJimbo, DanMalore here with you. Ahsoka, episode 6. Far, far away. Yeah.
Yes. What an episode.
Wow.
What an episode.
Yes. We got more than I expected. I was not expecting both the characters we were looking for to show up.
Yeah,
we were expecting like drip feed. We're gonna get like little drip feed. You're gonna get like little taste of things. And like, nope.
I have joked with you guys that I expected like Hera's committee hearing. You know,
Yeah.
just pull it old Star Wars trick and just like completely go off on a side.
Well, okay. So I remember I texted you back with that saying this is the Ahsoka show, not the Hera show. But we still only got a couple of minutes of Ahsoka and nothing else with that character.
Funny enough, huh?
But we did get some action in a new galaxy far, far away, which was kind of nice. I mean, it didn't seem too different, but you know that. Oh man, my input on my TV changed. That's not good. Yeah. So you guys want to jump right into it or what?
Yeah, let's start off with the usual. This episode was written by Filoni. And oh crap, where does it? Okay, and it was directed by Jennifer Getzinger. She's done episodes of Daredevil, Westworld, Outlander, and Mad Men.
All right.
She has a lot of experience. Yeah. You can definitely see some of the Westworld influence in her style on this one for sure.
If you watched it.
Yeah, I watched the first season. Everybody told me to stop there, so I did.
I kind of feel like that was one of the shows that HBO Max lost when
removed.
When it became Max from HBO Max.
Yeah,
whatever.
I mean that's been happening. Like, look, they removed Willow. They removed they just take shows, and that's what some people say that's why the argument for physical media. You know, not to get into that whole argument, because stuff just disappears, and then it's like it never existed.
Yeah,
kind of crazy.
Which is okay that if the Willow soundtrack doesn't exist. But.
Yeah, I wonder if Willow did they announce Willow for physical media when the Disney remember that Disney releases a bunch of stuff.
The only thing that I saw that got announced was Mando seasons 1 and 2.
Awesome.
And Loki season 1 and WandaVision, I think.
Got it. So. Yeah, you know that'll look cool. The Mando box sets, like for collectors.
Oh,
it's not just a TV show; it's like a Star Wars collectible on top of that. So it's cool that they're doing that.
Right. So, where to start with this? Oh, where does the
beginning
start? At the
on the ship inside the whale.
Purgles.
Right. Actually, it starts with
Purgles.
This.
That super hyperspace effect. So because they're going more faster, they're going ludicrous speed.
Well, no. Well, I mean, they got rainbow stripes in there, but they haven't gone to plaid.
No.
They've gone plaid.
Ludicrous is plaid.
Yeah, that would be awesome if they did that. But we got there was a couple of things I listened to, obviously, podcasts and reactions to this episode. People talking about Ahsoka turning down the offer of a story from the History of the Galaxy Part 1. Well, people were like, no, we want to hear this story.
She probably
1, 2, and 3. He has the complete.
Yeah, she probably felt like she's heard all this stuff. She grew up with this guy as one of her professors
in universe. Yeah, in universe, she's heard this story a million times. Like it's like us hearing Humpty Dumpty again. It's like, not again. Or Hansel and Gretel maybe is a better example.
Well, yeah, it's a little more fleshed out than Humpty Dumpty is.
But we got to hear a line in universe. It's not exactly, because isn't it long, long ago in a galaxy far, far away instead of a long time ago? Right?
No, it's a long time ago.
It's not long, long ago?
No.
See, that is a butterfly Mandela effect. Yeah. So we got to hear it in universe. That's That's
Yeah.
a really cool thing to
So
do.
does that mean every Star Wars movie is actually just being told by Hu Yang? No.
The Wills,
It's
Journal of
his.
the Wills. And then people were half expecting this episode to be the story that he's about to tell. Like we were about to shoot off into a major tangent to go back tens of thousands of years in the Star Wars timeline to
time to learn about the galaxy.
And I wouldn't have hated it, to be honest. I wouldn't have hated it, even though I did want to know what's happening in that other galaxy. But maybe someday we will. You know, like the Ancient Jedi movie that we'll get eventually. Maybe
what's
we'll
even
like
canon anymore about the origin story of the universe? Like with the whole like changing everything. We don't like.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we'll hear about the first Jedi. Apparently,
like the old Republic, the original games are just like poof.
Yeah. But that's such a cool effect.
I got the subtitles on. Boom.
And somehow Jimbo is on their ship now.
Yeah. Wow.
That's amazing. Oh, we got visitors.
I feel like they could probably hire David Tennant to read a bunch of Star Wars books. And people would buy it.
They absolutely could.
I mean, back in the day, Anthony Daniels did a whole bunch of books to audio.
I absolutely had one of those. Please turn the page.
Oh yes, I do remember this. Those were.
There was
I had like Ewok Adventure ones, and
you're supposed to flip the page when you heard R2 going nuts, basically.
Yeah, totally. It's the cassette read along thing.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think Kate's in the chat now. I don't know if you already said hi.
No,
okay. I wasn't able to chat last time, so this time I'm able to actually respond. Cool. I don't know if that's a new feature or whatever, but yeah. So that was a cool beginning to the episode, man. Like,
but that was like
I didn't know what to expect after that fade out.
No, I mean, I kind of figured it was just going to be the transition of the bad guys, but instead of a transition directly to the bad guys, it was Sabine in her cell, and then, oh my God, why am I blanking on his name?
Balin,
yeah, comes to the little V-shaped event to talk some smack, tells her to do some self-reflection, and she responds with, "Well, it's here. I actually have that."
It's not. I try not to do that.
It's not the last V-shaped door either. So I guess that's like the Dathomiri witch door. Like, yeah.
They're calling this art style, like the interior hallways and everything, like gilded punk or Art Deco punk or something like that. It looked, there's like even that ship that takes off looks like a Dune craft. It's like solid gold and.
Well, I mean, if it wasn't for Dune, we wouldn't have Star Wars. So
there are a lot of influences. I mean, the Night Sisters and the Bene Gesserit and all this other people are like going, whoa, in a great way. It's not. It's initially when Star Wars first came out, there was like people accusing like it's a ripoff and everything like that. But I just think it's.
I mean,
it's an homage.
Spice, they had all the kind of stuff.
The desert planet, but I think it's adoration, really.
But
for good science
so
fiction.
I just noted, like, if you played the first Jedi Fallen Order, that the first game in that series, this hallway that Balin's walking through reminds me very much about the arc.
I mean, look at that. Do you think that's a real set or is that volume?
Everything is.
I think that's a real set.
That looks amazing. Set. I mean, look at that. See, that's the Art Deco punk right there. That whole the control bridge looks so good.
Yeah, totally. It really does.
Like this show got budget, man.
Well, I mean, it's the successful Star Wars. It's not it's Dave's Star Wars. It's not.
Yes. I still think they should have put budget into Kenobi. Like it deserved more money, but that's just
right. But
I like Kenobi. I like Kenobi. I'm not.
But Filoni hasn't missed yet.
I'm wearing a Kenobi shirt right now.
That is an awesome shirt.
But yeah, I got it. Her universe or our universe. I don't know.
Oh yeah, maybe you should share the link in the notes or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I got it like a year and a half ago, so
A voice plug is still pretty good.
you know, it's is what it is. So yeah, so they come out of hyperspace and they're coming up on this planet. I'm
so excited to see another galaxy in Star Wars. I mentioned it earlier. Like
right.
that, I was like, oh, what is this going to be like? Are they going to come into a galaxy that's all just water or something? Who knows? It could have been anything.
Everything's gas giants.
Star Trek did it. I just want to say,
yeah,
that other franchise did it.
Sorry, when you said the way you said Star Trek did it, I was like, I immediately went South Park. Simpsons did it. Like,
kind of same thing. Kind of same idea.
Star Wars has to deal with Star Trek did it. How South Park has to deal with the Simpsons did it. But the rings around this planet are made of Purgle bones.
I didn't put two and two together. I remember seeing them when they fly by, but those are actually Purgle.
Yeah,
Purgle rings in Star Wars, planetary rings. Excellent.
Yeah, but that's kind of crazy that all that is
Purgle bone.
Dead Purgle bone. Like it's
that's punk.
I wonder how
that's metal.
How valuable some of that would be for making jewelry. No.
Some huge what's it called? Scrimshaw? I think that's what it's called.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So somebody a caller on a show that I was listening to last week was asking, wouldn't it be interesting if we're going to see like zombie Purgles, and then there's like maybe
so
got something going on here.
It's funny that you say that zombie Purgles thing.
That's what I thought. I thought it was interesting
because when we get introduced to that other group of characters in a few minutes, I thought the way that some of those characters, the armored up individuals were moving around seemed not like your standard trooper.
Right. All right. We'll get to it. But yeah, I agree with you. Something's off, right?
Yeah. So they come into the system. Oh yeah, that was another thing I wanted to make a comment about. The way that this ship, boom, it just falls off. It doesn't launch. It doesn't shoot out. It just falls off.
It's just cool.
It's very cool. Because I always, I don't get Star Wars engine thrust. It looks like it would be super hot and burn things, but even in the Clone Wars animated series, or was it Rebels? I forget. There was or was it? Oh no, it was Bad Batch season 1 when Crosshair kind of gets cooked a little bit from the engine firing.
Yeah, there's radiation coming out of this.
I would think he would have got more roasted.
More hurt by whatever is putting a spaceship in.
Yeah, it's a Star Destroyer's engine exhaust. Exactly. You're getting plasma in your face.
Yeah, but somehow it's not just going to incinerate you right away kind of deal.
Think of it this way, though. If you're keeping something that big afloat, you're using distributed lifting bodies. So each one of them is going to be pretty low power, as they're all going to be having to push all the time. Think about it. Gravity is a weak force. All you have to do is push a little bit harder than gravity, or just as hard as it.
So this is, I guess this is
a wizard did it. A space wizard did it.
Freaking space wizards.
This planet is so cool.
Space wizards with their space lasers. So this, I guess this is is this a Dathomirian witch, Dark Sister, whatever, Night Sister Citadel?
Minas Tirith or something.
Because when I first saw it, my first instinct was like, wow, that looks like Edinburgh Castle in Scotland.
It might have been influenced, architecture,
But
not in universe, but by the artist who created it.
Like, so looking at it like this, it doesn't look that tall.
Yeah, but those statues
on
on that, the statues on the planet are very, very tall. Because there was that one establishing shot where they like showed
they fly by.
the head of it. Yeah, the head of it, and they're still very high.
But it doesn't, like, I don't know, maybe it's me and my limited depth perception. The statues in the background don't like, I don't know how far away they're supposed to be. So it's kind of hard to impose, use them for reference. I guess that's the right phrasing. But yeah. Because like my whole thing is though, like when that other group of people show up, like that tower has to be miles high for that ship to come down around it. Here I'm like talking like
it's not short, that's for sure.
Yeah, no, totally. So let's see. So they land that little shuttle. We get our first look at some true. This is what you're sitting in front of right now, isn't it, Dan?
Yes.
Get the Night Sisters chilling out with their, for some reason, red magic instead of green. I don't know how I feel about that, but it's Dave's stuff, so I mean he has to sign off on everything. Right?
Different galaxies have different quantum effects. That's how I'm going to think about it.
Wing.
I guess
a space witch did it.
Yeah, these are definitely some witches. And Shin Hati looks very, very apprehensive walking up. Like I don't want to do too much motion. You got me spooked on that.
Yeah, she looks like a scared kid in a strange place.
She does. Like
Sabine's actually looks more confident.
Witches. She couldn't resist like saying
more
witches.
More witches.
More witches. Yeah.
Yeah. Racist much? No.
Well, she's not exactly a fan herself, I'm sure.
Of Force Witches as a Jedi trained individual.
It's just another competitor for power.
Yeah.
Maybe a threat even. Like maybe she sees them as a threat.
Also, the other thing about like it reeks of Jedi, and then they look at Sabine, but like they should also like take a little peek over at Balin.
Yeah, I was wondering if they're also talking about all of them. Sabine,
I think they were. I think that was
and
basically the undercurrent of it.
Like there's just a stench coming from behind you, like all these people behind you.
You know they're not feeling Sabine. Like they're not feeling her Force presence.
Yeah.
No, exactly. Sabine, like Hu Yang said it himself.
Like of all the students that he has ever known.
But maybe they can tell that Sabine has been around Jedi recently. She still reeks of them. So
I don't know.
But also that could have been directed at all three of them. Balin, Hati.
Well, see. Yeah, I mean that kind of like I just rewatched that. Here we go. See, like they look at her, but then those two look a little worried.
Yeah, they did look worried. Yes, that's a good way to put it. Like, should we be concerned?
Little side eye.
Yeah, like they're looking at Sabine like she's not the Jedi; she's a Mando. Like she ain't got no power.
Yeah,
they all kind of blame her, so the witches go along with it. And put those whatever these ball things are.
They're like the droids or something.
I guess.
They're like their little robots.
Could you make those like go super tight and just straight cut someone apart?
That's what I thought was about to happen. Like, they're just gonna like choke her up and then slice her.
You thought that was gonna happen? They're gonna slice
they're just gonna pop her in half.
Roll
credits. Main character out off episode 6 of 8. No. I don't think they're going to kill anybody off until the final episode. That Malik guy was Merrick or Malak.
Yeah.
I don't know. Mechaleka High, Mecha. But all right. I pushed the wrong
star
button.
maps on the side.
There was a few things that like did give me a little like Dune feel, like the drop ship and the window in the cell. Like it's just
everything is brutalist on this planet. Just
Yes.
brutalist design. Just slabs of like black concrete with like slits and etched, like surfaces. Ancient etched surfaces.
Well, Balin's gonna lay down like kind of a sick burn when he talks about like it's later in the episode though. Like how there's nothing there. Like we're in the heart of the Dathomiri Kingdom. And then like you look around and like there's
it's a wasteland.
Nothing. There's nothing to show for them.
We'll get to it later, but there's definitely there's a sense of like they need to get the heck out of there. Like something very bad is happening in this place.
It ain't good. It ain't good planet to hang around.
He even mentions that he feels something, but yeah.
But
doesn't he call it? Like, I'm not sure if it's in this scene. I can't see the subtitles, but
I saw
if
someone making the theory that like going back to another thing, like trying to introduce that used to exist, the Yuzon Vong, like, but they would not be. They wouldn't be calling though.
Yeah, calling out to Balin. He calls this place like a land of dreams and something. There's a line in this episode, like, and it does feel like that. Like that. There's a whole sense. This is like they landed on Fantasy Planet. Like nightmares and fantasies.
Yeah, he's like this planet's for from this folklore.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you get that whole sense of it. I mean, it feels like Lord of the Rings. Like the landscape and all the structures, everything's like ancient, giant stone things. Like,
or what about like how everything's lit, like the dark, steely sky, still sun now. But
even in broad daylight, it doesn't seem. It's like quasi daylight. Right. But that all lends itself to like this is very, very much veering off into fantasy side of Star Wars. Like, and the more we get into this episode, the more it's like, holy cow, like this is like questing and monsters and armor and
children's stories come to life.
Yeah. In the greatest way.
It's like the here's the boogeyman.
Then we get the homeboy showing up in a second.
Well, yeah, but we also got a pretty good amount of exposition between Shin and Balin. And Balin very much, at least to me, seemed very Qui-Gon Jinn-ish. And
he liked the idea of the order, but not the truth of it.
Yeah, like and Shin she doesn't really know. She didn't grow up in it. But
there's a word that
interesting.
They use. I'm not sure if it's in the scene, so forgive me. Where he calls Ezra Boken Jedi, trained after the fall, which is kind of like referring to like Japanese samurais or something. I don't know.
Yeah, not in the traditional order, but had a master who was. Yeah,
and he's like, I trained you to be something more. I'm like, she's like, oh, that like me. I'm a after the fall Jedi, and he's like, no.
Yeah.
The thing about like the cycle of rising and falling powers and like and they're like we're here to grab that
take
power.
over.
And he's like, no, we're here to make that shift stop.
Yeah,
like so he's kind of sort of on a partially righteous quest, I guess.
Self-righteous quest.
From
he says I'm not sure if it's in this scene, but he says he wants to get to the beginning. Is that a reference to the world between worlds or something like time travel? I'm just throwing this out there.
I was also thinking,
it's like, what's the beginning?
The wills, like the Jedi, like the Force before the Jedi, basically,
or like the father, daughter, brother, whatever.
We haven't seen the mother yet.
That little because it's probably a freaking Dathomirian witch.
Right?
Maybe. Maybe.
That was another one of the
being led to
theories of
something big.
what's calling. That was one of the theories. Is Abeloth.
Yeah, what is calling?
I don't know, but they keep on calling me. Like that old freaking
this is great Balin dialogue in these scenes. Great stuff.
It was great stuff. I don't want to, people should watch it. I'm not going to spoil it too much outside of what we've already done. But
there was a little tiny moment, the Sabine back in the cell right after that.
Right.
Like the misdirection of that is pretty fantastic.
Oh, right. You're talking about this right here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me get that little vibration going on. Yeah, that was.
She's practicing her force, and then they start the vibrations.
She practices the force the way all of us in real life do it.
Yep.
Trying to reach that pen or my drink or
she's just a pretender.
Whatever. And then boom. So what do we get instead of Sabine having force powers? We get, I'm waiting for it to pop on my screen, then I'm just going to add it in. We get the Chimera.
I wasn't expecting to see it so soon. When they said, "Oh, he's going to arrive later," I thought, "Okay, next episode or something."
Yeah, I was expecting. I was
Mhm.
expecting Thrawn at the end of the next episode, but look at that. That just looks badass.
And all the repairs.
Yeah.
All the repairs, because it was in pretty bad shape when it left.
When it has that artwork on the bottom.
Yeah.
It's
the Chimera didn't it have it originally? That was drawn on the bottom in Rebels. The Chimera.
Did he do that, or did Sabine blow, like, she had the paint bombs and all that stuff?
No, I for some reason I thought the Chimera was like a decorated ship on the bottom, but I could be wrong. Maybe it's something he did when he got here. But all the repairs on it look cool too.
Oh, look at that! Oh,
all the gold repairs.
Like some of those troopers look spiffy.
They're not okay.
Who is that?
Enoch. Do you know who that's played by?
No.
That is played by West Chatham from The Expanse. Amos.
What?
Yeah, I know. Right? The Expanse is an awesome show.
That was the thing he couldn't talk about.
Yes. I blew my mind when I saw him. He's a great actor. I hope we see his face because he's fantastic.
All I could think of.
He has a lot of sci-fi chops too.
First off, the way they had their armor filled in, I can't remember what it's called. Kintsugi.
Yeah. The art of repairing things with gold. People are speculating that this is witch magic, Night Sister magic, to repair broken stormtroopers and their armor. Like, what about the people inside? Are they also repaired?
Yeah, so that's what I was kind of getting at earlier. Like,
especially especially Enoch having a face.
I know, that's disturbing. When I first saw that, I was like, "Whoa, this is like something out of Marvel or something." He looks like a bad guy.
You know what it reminded me of?
What's that?
Fallout New Vegas, the Lanius. Remember, like the first officer of Caesar is basically a masked psychopath.
Yeah.
That mask is scary. I have
to
agree. That mask is it works, whatever he's trying to do. But it turns out he's actually like a reasonable, honorable dude.
Yeah.
I mean, at least in this episode. We'll get to that scene.
He follows orders.
That's like basically that's what you're seeing though, is that like this is a bunch of rule followers. They might be like bad guys, but they're like strict rule followers.
Yes. So something has changed, obviously, since Thrawn arrived in this galaxy. He had to change his tactics. He can't just operate like the normal Empire anymore. People are saying he built a cult.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's got
they're chanting.
He's got limited resources, and he's got limited,
you can't just overwhelming force everything.
Yeah,
Like you can't just like reinforcement until you overwhelm your objective.
It's almost like they went feral, but also not feral. Like they got tighter as a cult.
See, that's why I was thinking. That's what I was thinking about, like the Romans, like the idea that you become devoted to your general rather than your state,
exactly,
because your state is not the one who keeps you alive on a daily basis. It's your general who does.
I think at this point they're devoted to Thrawn himself, not the Emperor anymore. So like
Thrawn is what
even the Empire would be like you guys are off your rockers.
Mm-hmm.
If they're even alive at this point, I don't know. They're kind of creepy.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Especially Enoch is so crazy. I like the way that it docks with the tower.
Mm-hmm.
So they just walk from the hangar bay right onto the tower. That was a nice touch. Very nice touch. So let's talk about the man himself. How do you think he looks? Do you like the way he looks?
I think
what's the actor's name again?
Is it Mads Mikkelsen?
No, not Mads Mikkelsen.
Or is it Lars Mikkelsen?
Sounds right.
Ron actor. People were complaining that he looks a little disheveled, a little older. It's like, yeah, he is older. He's been sick. You know,
he's been pretty much the entirety of the original Star Wars trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
He is on this planet.
Lars Mikkelsen.
Yeah, that's what I said. Lars Mikkelsen.
I didn't discount you. I just looked it up to make sure.
Right. Yeah.
His eyes are great.
I get him and his brother mixed up all the time.
Oh, that's right. We talked about this. They are brothers, huh?
They are? Oh,
I'm pretty sure they are.
Small world, because it's a small country.
Nepo.
Wow. Yeah.
Nepo baby. But I guess because in Rebels he was fighting those training droids and keeping fit and strong. Maybe he doesn't have access to those anymore. You know, he's eating rat wolf meat.
Right. He doesn't have his. Yeah, he doesn't have his dietary. The things that he's already worked out work best for him. He doesn't have access to that anymore. Because when he's walking down, I kind of skipped that part, but when he is walking through the hordes of stormtroopers, he's got a bit of a belly. He's not that tall, slender character that we got used to in Rebels.
He's kind of like a warlord in a wasteland. This is Mad Max kind of.
Yeah.
Well, it is.
He has. It's 100% of that because he's got the ship. Everybody else is on the ground. Everybody's riding those
those mounts
things, whatever. I don't even know
what howlers.
Howlers, yeah, but I mean they look like a cross between a dire wolf and a horse.
With a crocodile face.
Yeah. They kind of got a long crocodile rat face.
Yeah.
I like those design. We'll get to those soon, but I like the design actually. Very fantasy again.
Because it does look like a dog. Like when
it's like a giant dog that you can ride.
Well, then it's
with an alligator with a gator crocodile face.
So
good art design, creature work.
Before we get too far ahead, this scene when Thrawn starts talking to the witches, they kind of tell on the rest of the people. They brought a prisoner with them, and that leads to Balin getting outed as a Jedi general in front of the witches, and
they already knew kind of, but
I don't think that they knew specifically that he was
specifics. They didn't know his name, but they sensed something. But Thrawn has like a memory, perfect memory. So he's like, "Oh yeah, you were a general during the war."
Yeah, he probably saw his name on a report, dispatch.
No, he knows. Yeah, he's got.
But that was very cool. But immediately, what I like about this in Thrawn's true to his character, he's immediately okay. How does this work for me?
Right.
This is a new player on the chessboard.
He's weighing all his options and trying to make the most of. But
he's thinking about what resources he has and how to use them to their
Sabine. He's like, okay, Sabine's here.
She could be a useful tool in the hunt for Ezra.
See, when
Yeah, he already knew he was looking for her, or she was looking for him.
But he can't bother, actually expending any of his forces because it's just not worth it to him.
No,
but he has like a lot of.
He needs to get out of there. Like he's trying to get out of there as soon as possible. So.
Like he says, like get right after this, his primary mission is to get off of this planet, like get out of this galaxy, like and everything else is secondary.
To be fair, he's been there for 10 years. He wants to get out of there. He wants to go home.
Oh yeah. He's like, I need new underwear.
Like, what do you do though if you're in another galaxy? You probably don't have the actual star maps to make a bunch of jumps. Like, you don't have the ability to go.
You don't even have the drive to do it.
Right. Yeah. I mean, he'd have to send out probe droids or whatever. And who knows?
The other thing is, if you might have noticed that they're a little short on engines too. I wonder how their hyperdrive is.
Probably non-functional.
Probably not.
Yeah. Totally.
I mean, they're just hanging out on this planet.
But
maybe they were not exactly in orbit. They could have been somewhere else. Maybe somewhere in the star system. Who knows?
So
raiding villages.
Hanging out on another moon that might be cooler.
So right after Ron outs Balin as the Jedi General, what's the woman's name?
Audie.
No, the other one. The Force Witch from our galaxy. The Morgan Elsbeth chimes in that the prisoner that this guy brought is Sabine Wren, and Thrawn likes that very much.
Yes.
Yeah. He's like, oh, I know her.
A known quantity.
Yeah. So they bring her forward, and Ron actually likes the fact that he saw, like, I thought that was kind of.
Yeah, he seems to like actually be glad to see her.
No, he is very much so. I mean, he says it himself.
It's like, oh, you can take care of a problem for me now, actually.
Yeah.
A known quantity. It's a known quantity.
Yeah.
Anything that's familiar can help give him some edge.
He studied Sabine's artwork in Rebels. He knows her Mando culture. Yeah. He knows what makes her tick.
Yeah. Right. And he knows she wants to find, he wants to find Ezra. He's hooking her up with everything that she needs to find him.
He doesn't need to, but if it happens to like stumble into his lap, well, all the better.
Right. Well, that, and then also
a parting gift from Thrawn.
It also gets her off the ship without a fight. She's not going to try to escape and blow half the rebuilt ship up.
He even tells her, "We're leaving though, so I'm starting new here."
So if you get him and you don't come right back.
He does make it pretty clear, like the timeline. You got 3 days, like you got 3 days to find him and get back to the ship.
So you better hustle.
Yep.
Yeah, he's looking at it in any angle you look at it, he's gonna win. Like he doesn't find her, she doesn't find him, she finds him. Like either way, I win.
Well, there's probably gonna be something that's gonna get in the works at least a little bit. But
now he kind of mentions that he's dead, but I feel like he doesn't really believe that he's dead.
No, he said he could be. He's just trying to give her, like, he might be down the street, like,
last known locations.
But Ezra doesn't seem like when we do meet up with him, we find out that they move around a lot. So is what it is. And it's
So Jimbo mentioned 3 days. Yeah, cargo. What do we think the cargo is? I have some suspicions myself, but I'll let you.
He is taking the temple off of his ship.
Oh, the temple off of his ship? I thought they were loading stuff onto the ship.
Yeah, I don't know.
They're getting some stuff out of some catacombs. Some stuff.
Yeah. So what are in catacombs, and what came out of those look like caskets or coffins? I think he's taken an undead army with him.
It's possible.
Yeah.
Of Night Sisters, because they did it in Rebels. Like
Night Sisters.
they're almost unstoppable warriors when they're undead.
I mean, there are. I mean, Morgan Elsbeth and what's her face from Fallen Order, are the only two Night Sisters that we really know of.
Now,
and
this begs a question. Like Thrawn, he's been there 10 years. Like he's starting to dabble in like some crazy stuff now. Like he's like, okay, magic exists apparently, or the Force exists. I know that because of Kanan.
Yeah, I need your dark magic. Like
So how can I make this stuff work for me? Can I take back some? Can you guys raise an army for me of undead that I can use to fight my wars, and then I'll bring you back as part of the deal? And the Night Sisters are probably like, yeah, then we'll take you over you when we get back. Everybody's trying to screw each other over.
Right. It's everybody who's trying to get the last word, the comeuppance,
which is what Balin was referring to.
Yeah.
They're all making deals with the devil, trying to get back to the other galaxy.
Very much so. Very much so. So I brought this up a second ago. This is the head of that crocodile mouth dog horse thing. Which is
cool creature design. I really liked it.
I like the fact that they actually gave Sabine back like her armor,
everything.
Yeah. And then
because she wouldn't last very long without it.
No. And then
well, it's also like he says though, like die well. Like,
that last line, it's like, wow, really?
Yeah. Because no one
that's probably the best thing you could say.
Like he tells her though, like
that's not friendly.
The natives of this planet prey upon each other. Die well. Here's your. Good luck.
But from this part, it just starts to go really skew fantasy, right? Like unbelievable. It's like a knight getting his horse and going off on a quest.
It is. Or it's like Han Solo getting a tauntaun and going to look for Luke. It'll see you in hell.
I like the glowing bits of Sabine's armor. She has that glowing.
Oh yeah.
You can see them from far away. They kind of they're like really bright. I like that.
But it's like it doesn't seem like it's very tactical. To have lights on your outfit,
No, but it sure does look cool.
Unless there's you can push a button and everything shuts off or dims to its lowest.
What it does, I think it's psychology. It attracts the people, the snipers, to shoot right there.
Shoot at the light,
not up here.
Shoot at the armor.
And it turns out it works.
That's like why Batman's got the yellow oval in the middle of his chest, and that's the target. That's the target. So they don't shoot me in the face, which is also not black.
Here's the thing, though. In the upcoming scene where she gets ambushed, where Sabine gets ambushed, a lot of them are doing the right thing and shooting at her face, they're shooting right at her head, and she is basically blocking it every time. Like
she does use her gauntlets for a couple.
There's like three of them. There are like three of them. They're headed straight at her head, though, in the scene.
For me, it is not a big complaint about this episode. There was one too many armor strikes, because it happened in Mandalorian too, but it was usually believable. She got shot in the armor like 17 times in this episode. Okay, like, guys, aim a little higher.
There was a lot.
I mean, it's pretty clear to most people, like hitting things with blasters isn't very easy.
Nope.
No, especially they're bad shots. They're using like low quality weapons.
Yeah. This planet does not have the intergalactic arms trade of the other one.
Right.
They probably got it off of dead stormtroopers.
Yeah. They do not look like good rifles either. They're bolt action bolters. Like
yeah, they're like Star Wars muskets.
Yeah.
Like sand people.
Like you actually see him like cock a rifle.
But she did I just kind of skipped it. She does use her wrist harpoon.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yep.
but it also has. Ooh, I didn't get the pause right.
She electrocutes him.
Yeah, it's got like a built-in taser
Shock.
tool, which is pretty
Shock.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, the more I'm all
Pretty good
about that, the more Mando weaponry, anti-Jedi weaponry, the better.
Yeah.
I like to see that stuff. Flamethrower.
But she didn't even use a flamethrower.
Yes. No, because that's probably not something that you can refuel easily. So it's just like.
Well, usually the flamethrower, like at least in the video games and stuff like that, is usually tied to the jetpack. You're using the jetpack fuel for the flamethrowers.
Oh.
And yeah, and she doesn't have her jetpack. It's still, I would imagine, on Lothal.
Yeah.
Just chilling in her closet.
Seems like a mistake not to bring it. Tactical error.
Yeah. So after
she didn't bring her helmet, so I think that was a bigger.
No, her helmet.
No, she lost her helmet.
She lost her helmet. She left it behind. Hu Yang has it. It's on her. It's on its way
probably
to her.
Heavy. It's probably the jetpack is probably heavy and cumbersome.
But you can
so
fly.
You plan to, I know, but unless you're planning to use it, like specifically.
Okay, but let me repeat that. You can fly.
I know. It's like a Jedi Survivor. You have a buddy that has a jetpack and he can just fly, and you have to spend like 25 minutes going through like this jungle gym to get to the same spot.
I'm gonna fly over here. I'll see you in a half hour.
I'm gonna be eating an apple.
I'm gonna sit over here and have a snack. But yeah, so they send. So Thrawn sends Balin and Shin to follow Sabine with the, I guess, new and updated instructions to, once Sabine finds Ezra, get rid of all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Get rid of both of them, and then if you make it back, you make it back. I don't think he says that part to them, but he definitely says it to Morgan.
No, he doesn't. He knows, he knows who the B characters are, and
he's like, yeah, he's like, if we have to leave him behind, oh well.
He's like, I'm Thrawn.
So, I mean, he sends what, 2 squads to follow up on them.
Yeah, and Morgan asks for more, and he's like, there's an awkward pause. He's like, yeah, we've been here for 10 years. We got nobody left. We got like 75 dudes left.
Yeah. 2 squads is all you're getting.
Like, this ship is barely flying right now with the skeleton crew that I have to keep it in the air. Yeah. Besides, how much?
Skeleton crew. Whatever happened to that show? Oh.
Oh, that is coming. Apparently, there's like some hints about the show in this show, but I didn't pick up on those. I'll have to do more research about that.
I've been avoiding all the Star Wars streamers lately. I don't know why. Just been working out that way. But,
yeah, this is not. It's not something the streamer. It's just like hints about it, but I don't know what the hints are, because it's supposed to take place in another galaxy, right? Skeleton Crew or something. You don't know any details about the show.
I don't know. No, I don't know nothing. But yeah, so since Sabine got jumped and the mount ran away, when they come back to Sabine after the scene with Morgan Elsbeth and Thrawn, Sabine's berating the animal verbally, not physically, but verbally. And it seems kind of, that's what makes it seem dog-like, because it's like it knows it was a bad dog.
I know. It's like whining.
Yeah.
And then it turns around after a few seconds, because it's like, I don't know where to go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna follow you.
It's like you're my human for now. So
yeah, very fantasy and humor and whimsical stuff.
Yeah,
like this is because there's the Andor Star Wars, which is awesome, and then there's like this kind of Star Wars, which is also awesome.
Yeah,
and we're getting both of that right now. Both shows are happening, which I think is great.
No,
this is very. I got very Willow vibes from this too. Like
what, with her running off?
Even this howler thing is like the wolves that we're hunting in Willow. In the first movie.
Right,
It kind of reminds me of that a lot.
Yeah.
The Death Hounds or whatever they call them.
You're just gonna see Warwick Davis on a hillside walking around like, what the?
No, but
it's actually Willow planet in that galaxy.
I mean, with the world between worlds, there can be anything you want, really.
No, they need to not use that like ever again.
ET planet.
An ET planet. That's a thing though, because they're in the Galactic Senate.
I have a feeling that someday, somehow, somewhere, it'll just be a planet that somebody lands on, and it's like, we found the ET planet.
As long as they never land on Earth, I'm happy.
Yeah, it'd be a galaxy too far, I think.
Yeah.
Battlestar Galactica has already done it.
Yeah.
That other franchise did it.
Yeah.
But that was intentional, though.
Good old Battlestar Galactica. It's actually the name of my crew and rock band, but besides that.
Interesting.
Well, I mean, I didn't name it. I just joined it.
So her holler leads her to some place.
Yeah. I was trying to get
something out.
Yeah, so like hermit crab people, is that what these guys are?
Yeah. People were saying turtle, and it's like, no, it's more like a hermit crab.
It's more of a hermit crab, but they don't have like hermit crab claws.
No, but they have great like clothes. If you didn't know,
very very hobbitish kind of reference with these guys, like little people. I like that. Again,
little people in their things that look like they're in cotton, like cotton shirt.
Yes.
Vest.
Like very smart. He's like a little businessman.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, this is like super fantasy. I remember like watching this thing going like, where is this going? Like, what the heck? Where are they? Like Balin was saying, they're just like in this dream planet now. Dreams and stories, I think he calls it.
But the thing is that she is like, she's absorbed what Ahsoka was absorbing too. Like, just let the Force take you. Just go with it. Just kind of just feel it out, and whatever happens, happens.
It's happening.
You're in the world and it's happening. So you better be like going with the program or something.
Right. So
then he recognizes her pauldron.
Right.
The rebel. What do they call it? The rebel falcon or something?
I think it's a phoenix.
Rebel Phoenix. Yeah. Duh. Right. Rise from the ashes. Of course.
Yeah.
Rebel Phoenix. So that was cool. He's like, I got one too. Check it out. Bling bling.
Yeah.
Ezra Bridger making friendship bracelets for everybody.
Seems like it, right? But I also like I feel like she like the alien dude was getting closer, and Sabine kneels down like next to her gun, like just in case that thing was gonna go for her gun, she was gonna be able to get it first. Because you never know.
Yeah, I mean, she's on a strange planet.
She is. And she's already been attacked by the locals once. I mean, she doesn't know what those creatures look like under the armor. This could be a child for all she knows. So all the little people start popping up around them after the medallion, the phoenix insignia,
kind of like Wizard of Oz, where the munchkins pop out of the flower bushes. You know,
popping out of everywhere.
Because they're definitely in Oz now, man. This is as far.
Well, they're not
in
Kansas, that's for sure. They're definitely not in Kansas, because that's on Superman's show, not on Star Wars show. Smallville. But yeah. So Balin and Shin find the aftermath of Sabine's handiwork. Oh yeah, and we also didn't mention that Sabine did use all her Mando weapons and her lightsaber. She finished the fight with the lightsaber flourishes because those guys weren't going down. So, and this is where they have the conversation about how Ezra was trained and the difference between Ezra and Shin as far as their training is concerned.
Yes, he's actually taking care of these people. It's probably the first group of beings that he ran into, and he's like, I'm going to take care of you little people.
Well, I mean, Ezra has
Teach you
always
my
been
ways.
been pretty good with. So, but Balin and Shin do get spotted going through the wreckage by the, I guess, probably one dude that survived the fight that Sabine let run away. But there are 3 other guys with mounts. I guess they came as backup. And
even Hadi is like, what is this wasteland? Like, why are we even here? But Balin has a lot. I think this is a scene, right? Like where he's like, there's something calling. Don't you hear it? Don't you see it? Something calling to. So what is calling to him, man? I don't know. There's something. We'll probably get revealed a little bit near at the end of the season.
It's like Snoke.
Oh God. I'm quitting. Let me take off my mic. if that's the case,
I really hope not. I mean,
they find Snoke in this galaxy.
It could be worse.
No, Snoke is in Exegol. If you're on the, he's in a tank or something in Exegol, being grown in a vat.
Right. So they get back to the little people's village. You know what? Did we get a creature name for them?
The Noti.
Noti?
Noti. It was in the subtitles.
Gotcha.
Yes. Yeah. I don't watch with subtitles because it takes my eyes away from the faces, and I already have hard enough times reading facial inflections. So like, but when I watch it a second time, I do watch it with subtitles to catch all those little things. I just haven't had a chance.
Right. So here we get our first look at Ezra, and
he's
like,
gone feral.
He's definitely a lot fuzzier than he used to be.
Mm-hmm. He's all grown up.
Yep, he's all grown up. 10 years later, he's old enough to drink now.
He's got a beard.
Yeah, he's got a full beard.
He looks like a Bedouin merchant.
But what I did notice when he like starts talking to Sabine, he's sounded like Ezra. Like it wasn't like just a new voice all of a sudden. It sounded like I expected, at least for me, it sounded like I expected Ezra to sound like.
He obviously studied Rebels, and even the banter. People were saying like the banter between him and Sabine is like spot on for Ezra and Sabine in the show, which is like you can't ask for better than that. They really nailed it. They did the homework to make it seamless. If he shaves the beard, it'll probably even help even more because he didn't have a beard in Rebels, obviously.
No. Here's a little bit of a closer view of Ezra. So yeah. And as you can tell, he has no weapons on him. So at least it doesn't appear that he figured out how to build a new lightsaber or anything like that.
He might have one of those crappy blasters stolen off stormtroopers, maybe, or something in his hut.
Well, I mean, he used to have that helmet collection.
Yeah.
So
Son Lothal.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's Sabine's now.
No, it's his again though when he gets back home, I guess.
If he makes it, we don't know yet. These people are all still stuck on this planet.
That made me think, just on that point, what was his name? Pelion in Mando season 3, when they were like, "Where's Thrawn? You keep promising Thrawn. Where is he?" Like, is Thrawn actually going to make it out of this season back to the galaxy, or Ezra and Sabine going to stop at Ahsoka? Because it seems like he's not there in Mando season 3. And Mando season 3, I think, takes place after this. So we'll see.
I don't think
the characters are not omnipotent on that show, though. They don't really know what's going on beyond their own like sectors.
Yeah.
Maybe he's greatly delayed. I could see him being very much delayed getting back home, but I think at some point, like maybe the Mando movie, Thrawn's coming back to the galaxy. But this is all just speculation. Carry on.
I think they're gonna make it. I think Thrawn and his like the bad guy crew basically is all gonna make it back, maybe except for maybe Balin and Shin. I think like the ship's gonna leave,
Uh-huh.
and everybody who's not currently on the ship isn't gonna go with them.
Yeah, I mean, definitely Baylan. No Baylan.
And then
I like
Ahsoka's gonna
Shin
show up.
Hotties. I like
You know the
her
most
as a
brutal-
character concept. I hope she makes it.
The whole brutal part about that meeting with Ezra is at the end of it, though, where he's like, "I can't wait to go home."
Yeah,
About that.
That's what makes me think.
She's like, let's not talk about that right now.
yeah.
Let's just be happy for a second.
Because it's like he's obviously didn't stay with Thrawn. You know what I mean?
No.
Like a lot of people were speculating that they'd be working together or whatnot, and that clearly didn't happen.
Oh yeah, when you first saw Enoch, did you think that might have been Ezra?
I did. I did.
Man,
I was like,
perverted him into like his secondhand man.
I jokingly said that when I was watching, I was like, oh, there's Ezra.
That would have been a tragedy. That would have been a tragic
an E name. It's close enough.
Yeah. It's like he's been corrupted in the
that would have been cool. Then Ahsoka has to turn him back or something. That would have been interesting, but obviously
no, that would have been predictable.
Yes, it would have been.
It would have been, yeah. But so here's the shot that I was talking about, like with that tower is just stuck up into the bottom of.
Oh, I should have screenshotted that. That's a great shot.
And like, how tall is that tower that something that big can just lower itself in the atmosphere to hover around? You know, it's not. It's right here. It looks like they're touching, but
it's at least skyscraper tall.
Yeah,
at least.
It's like, I mean, that
Dathomirian magic can build you some good citadels.
Apparently.
I mean, that's the only thing that lasted, but otherwise, yeah, they built some good stuff. Well, they built that other temple.
Something bad went down on this planet. Something bad, and the Dathomir Witches' empire is in ruins, and they want to leave and go to a new galaxy to try again. So I just want to get all that lore and backstory. This is like a super lore dump episode. They're hinting at huge things that we may not know for years.
So this is what you were talking about that look kind of like coffins, right? That thing that those stormtroopers are pushing in the background there. Yeah, it looks very sarcophagus-like.
I mean, they could be, old Night Sister warriors that they're planning to bring back. I don't know.
Right? Could be a bunch of dudes that look like Darth Maul.
Could be gold ancient super weapons. Could just be old ancient super weapons.
But this is also when the Night Sisters warn about another person's coming, a Jedi. So and
they don't like that.
It's riding. They say it's riding with the travelers. They call the Purgle travelers, which is so
fitting.
And Thrawn doesn't like that one bit.
But he starts to figure it out almost immediately.
Yeah, no, yeah. It's like, could it be Tano? And Morgan's like, no. He's like, she's supposed to be dead, and death and resurrection.
The more she denied the more she feels like says that she's dead, the more Thrawn's like, yeah.
And then he basically just says that we should just go forward, assuming that she is alive.
Oh yeah. I just actually paused it on that subtitle.
Yeah. No, we're not doing this stupid bad guy shit.
He's not going to blow 10 years of work.
Did you see the body? No. Yeah. Then she's still alive. That's the rule of Star Wars.
Yes.
He knows the rules.
Knows. He's smart.
He knows the rules.
They really nailed the eyes. The eyes look even better than in the animation. Like,
yeah.
If you watch it in HDR, on an HDR television, those eyes like pop, man. They're like two beams that come out of the screen.
Right. No, yeah, he's got laser eyes. He's got angry Superman eyes.
Redder. And when then he like the thing he says though, like, I shall require your dark magic, and then the Night Sisters are like, yeah, you will. Like, you're damn right.
Yep. We've already prophesized that as well.
Yeah, it's like it's not even a question. It's like you will.
But yeah. And that's pretty much it for this episode. So we got Ahsoka and Huyang for the prelude, and that's it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
Just
hey
to
man, I
bridge-
thought this was the Ahsoka show. No, sorry, couldn't resist.
Wouldn't it
Then
be cool?
Then
And
last
I
week
know
was,
they.
hey, where's Balin? Hey, where's the bad guys?
So I
Right?
don't know if we mentioned this or talked about it last episode, but the previous episode um they put in movie theaters. Did you hear about this?
Yes, I did hear
Yeah.
about that.
Very, very limited, but yes.
Yeah, people waited online and everything. I heard it. Some were able to get in, some weren't. But how cool would it be to watch these last 2 episodes in a theater, like back to back?
You know, I would like to watch all the episodes of all the seasons of all the Star Wars stuff so far in theatrical, like in a theatrical cut version. Like maybe chop them up, put them in the theater, get some of that money you didn't make by your subscriber count. Like there's I don't know, they're squeezing all the writers and the actors and all this stuff, and all the people that help production go along.
And they're slowly increasing the prices of the services as we're entering what's going to be like the stopping of flow of media.
Yeah.
So they want us to pay more for less quality and less content.
Yeah. It's like, no, just put the
that
stuff in it. Like, I don't know if I've said it.
But that's what's going to happen, though. Like, they're literally going to have to repackage stuff and put it in the theater to keep on making money. And it might be stuff that you've already watched on streaming services, like, in the last few years. It's like, what's it called? Yosemite or the Kevin Costner show. Like,
right.
Yellowstone? Wrong.
Yeah,
Yellowstone. So, like, they're showing it on like,
Jellystone with Yogi Bear and Ranger Smith.
And they're showing it on like actual broadcast TV now, and apparently the ratings were great. So welcome to the new future, getting recycled streaming content 2 years, 3 years later on the actual broadcast networks.
No, I haven't watched broadcast TV in such a long time.
It's what, like, I hate to give these things ideas, but I think I might have mentioned to one of you guys in person. These streaming, like they can edit theatrical cuts of all the shows they've made on all these streamers for years, and you just be like, hey, did you like this thing we just showed you in the movie theater? You could see the extended cut version if you subscribe to our platform. And that's nice little built-in marketing, and you don't have to make anything new. Just edit some stuff down and then expand it for the home streamer. Like, I don't know, like the Thor movie that came out last year, the one that everybody likes to rip on. Apparently there's a 4-hour cut of that movie, and I think that movie would be way better if it was longer and it had all the missing crap they cut out. It would probably make way more sense.
Wait, you're saying they should put it on streaming services?
They should put, hey, did you see Thor Love and Thunder last year? We're going to give you the extended cut. It's way better. But you got to get Disney Plus to see it. But here it is. It's there.
One thing that makes me sad about like streaming, it means that like it's the death of the blooper reel. Like there's never like, unless they like filmmaker chooses to put a blooper reel in on the actual credits, we are never seeing a blooper reel again. Like things that were sometimes included on extras.
Well, they do sometimes like I know Disney has put out like blooper reels for some of the Marvel stuff has extra stuff. But it is usually after the Blu-rays have come out, because they still sell Marvel Blu-rays.
Yeah.
But not of not of the straight Disney Plus stuff. At least not until this coming Christmas. But
I mean, this all just seems like a stopgap, without if the strike keeps happening, and eventually things are just going to run out, man. It's going to affect Star Wars too, right?
Yep.
Eventually, yeah. I mean, I think Skeleton Crew is in the can.
Is that a live action show?
But it's been delayed till next year. Loki, I know Loki's supposed to start up right when Ahsoka is ending.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that.
I think the first episodes of that show is the last day of this show. But
I think so,
But
that's probably the most thing I'm looking forward to in the Marvels.
I think the only other thing that we might get, like unless production resumes outside of Skeleton Crew, is maybe Bad Batch season 3, because that would have already been written, recorded, and in production.
But animation takes a long time.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
The actual
that's
animation itself.
And that's if the animators don't all be on strike. So,
oh man, I don't know if they are, but
because that's next, right?
I mean, yeah, they you heard that the Marvel VFX ones wanted, like, they are going to unionize too, because they've been getting shafted for quite a long time.
They should. It was like slave labor. I heard. Kind of off topic.
Yeah, very off topic.
I just hope they get something resolved, because they were like getting such good stuff right now, and man, what? But
you gotta pay for art, like that kind of what it comes down to. Is it like you gotta pay for?
I'm willing to pay more for Disney Plus as long as they keep the good stuff coming. This high quality, high budget stuff. You know, I'm okay with it. Plus all the archival stuff. We have all the old stuff. You can go back and watch Rebels and all the old animated Clone Wars.
Can I watch the holiday special?
Not
that's
yet.
a Lucas decision, though.
Not yet.
It was probably part of the deal when he sold. He's like, "I'm giving you everything, the keys to the kingdom. No
holiday special, but no holiday special. No Ewoks adventure.
There is Ewoks adventure on Disney Plus.
Yeah,
they're on Disney Plus,
but it's not. It's not technically canon, I guess.
No. Those are more like History of the Galaxy, Part 1, 2, 3. You know, they fall under those old. What do they call them? It's not Expanded Universe. It's like Jedi Legends or something, or Legends Universe, something like that. Yeah. Well, predictions before we wrap it up here, because I gotta go. For next episode, what do we think we're gonna see?
We're gonna see
Ahsoka show up.
We're gonna see
a Purgle attacked in space.
A Purgle attacked in space.
They said when the Purgle comes out of attack it with I can't remember way she.
That's right. Well, the Purgle's going to die anyway because they're migrating to die. So but it'll give its life to save them, I guess.
I feel like we're gonna get. I think by the end of the next episode, the Chimera will be on its way back to the normal Star Wars galaxy.
Wow.
And all the heroes and Balin and Shin will be stranded on this planet. Maybe a platoon or half a platoon of stormtroopers as well.
Wow. So you think that they're not going to have that big battle with Thrawn? I could see that. Yeah, that's going to save that for the next season. Thrawn bounces, and then the riffraff have to fight it out on this wasteland.
Thrawn and all the Night Sisters and the majority of stormtroopers will get off the planet, and all the heroes, and Ahsoka will just miss them.
Just
barely miss them.
Plausible. It's plausible.
Or Ahsoka will be busy fighting Balin and Shin. You know, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Balin might even bite it in the next episode. I don't know. I feel like
I hope he makes it to at least to the last episode of the season.
It'd be nice, but I don't.
Oh, and I was saying earlier, I like Shin as a character concept. She's another kind of like Ezra Jedi trained after.
I think
maybe she loses her master, and maybe she can make her own decisions. Like, okay, maybe I'm not gonna just be all about power. Who knows?
Maybe she'll be
gets beheaded in the first few minutes in this episode.
Maybe she'll become like a Mara Jade type character. But instead of being romantically linked to Luke, she falls for Ezra, and then Sabine's got to deal with that.
Oh,
maybe. But from everything I understand, Sabine and Ezra are not. They're more like brother sister.
No, they are more like brother and sister, but like sister-in-law.
She's your sister.
Yeah, you know how Star Wars is with sisters.
I know. It's gonna get real weird. Shin, buckle up your seatbelt.
Yeah.
It's Kentucky Star Wars.
Yeah, but that's it. We've gone an hour and 15 minutes ish. So it's a good time to call it. again, everybody at home, if and when you watch this, please tell your friends you enjoyed it. Like, share, subscribe. Eventually, like I keep saying, I am going to do toy videos again eventually. But until then, may the force be with you. And with that, we are